the heck is going on here? Oh my gosh, there's some sort of confrontation. Obi-Wan is busting skulls and Luke has fainted. Chewie's very concerned. Han is shooting Greedo, who appears to not be shooting back at all. Accurate. While Boba Fett gives no fets. No fets given. It's a sometimes vlog. It's a vlog that happens sometimes. And sometimes it happens in the room of...
insanity.
The toy room of insanity. Count Stankus' lair. This right here is Count Stankus. I don't know if you've ever been on my vlog before.
Never.
But we have been together in Adam's vlogs before.
Yeah, once or twice, I think.
This is Count Stankus, which your YouTube channel is youtube.com/Count Stankus. Not Count Stanky.
No.
That's a different guy. Count Stanky's a different guy. We don't talk to him anymore. This is Count Stankus' Stanctuary, the toy room of insanity. Yeah, in your videos, he's got a sweet YouTube channel where he takes people into this toy room of insanity, and every intro it's the toy room of insanity, insanity,
That's right.
and then there's the whole song in the beginning. It's awesome. You have to watch it. Okay, my friends.
Yeah.
This one is for all of the nerds out there. If you've been watching any of these videos for any length of time, you'll know that I'm a little bit nerdy. And I think the second to last or a couple vlogs ago was Force Friday, getting excited about all the new Star Wars merchandise and toys coming out. What I'm really interested in, though, are these Star Wars toys and this Star Wars merchandise.
Goodness.
What is this? What are we looking at? Count
That's all
Stankus?
the beautiful, awesome Star Wars figures made by Kenner back in the day.
Kenner!
Yeah. Good old Kenner. We miss Kenner. It was awesome.
Long, long before this new Star Wars Insanity.
Episode 7.
There was the original Star Wars Insanity, 1977.
Yeah.
Star Wars hit the theaters, and there were no toys available for
None.
anybody.
None.
Because they thought, didn't they think that the movie wasn't going to be popular, no one was going to watch it, so they thought, oh, we'll produce a couple of toys, no big
They
deal.
actually tried to rush out the toys. They couldn't do it in time.
Just
That's why they
could
came
not
out
do
with
the toys in time.
the
So they
early
came out
bird
with
kit.
this.
Yeah.
This little kit of figures they mailed out, but you didn't buy this in the store.
You bought the envelope.
Yay! So
Crappy
because Star Wars was so
cardboard.
popular, and they could not produce enough action figures in time because they expected it to be a flop with maybe a couple of sales in a couple of stores somewhere, they produced this piece of paper that you bought, and later you would get these mailed to you.
Yeah.
Did you actually do this? Did you participate in
Yeah,
this?
my brother and I did back in the day, 1977.
So you filled out one of these certificates, and you're like, someday I'm.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get that for Christmas?
You know what? That I don't remember.
So you filled out the certificate,
Yeah.
and you're like, someday
too
I'm going
long.
to get some Star Wars toys. It's going to be so awesome.
It is.
How long did it take between certificate and getting this?
I can tell you, Star Wars was huge.
Yeah.
Back then, people lost their minds.
It's still
I do
huge. At
remember
least that's what
getting-
she said.
I do remember getting the figures.
You remember
Yeah.
getting the figures.
I remember getting the
But
figures.
was it a long time after
was
the movie
April.
came out?
It was April.
So
Yeah,
of the next year,
I still remember this
1978.
day I got mine in April.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And so ever since then, apparently, you have been collecting and amassing
Yeah.
a Star
Yes.
Wars collection.
Yes.
Is your collection complete?
Never. It's like Disneyland. It never ends.
That's awesome. So here's all the stuff. So you have a lot of different collections. I'll
Yeah.
look at some of them in a
Yeah.
second. But you right here, you
Yeah.
have all of the original
Yeah.
vintage Star Wars action figures. Although you just sort of confessed to me that the collection is slightly
It's
incomplete.
slightly flawed.
Slightly flawed. But look, up here, starting
Yeah.
with Darth Vader, working your way. These are the original ones, right? From the Star Wars movie,
Yeah.
which I still call Star Wars,
I do
not
too.
A New Hope
Yeah,
or
it's Star
Episode
Wars.
4. It's just Star Wars.
It's not gonna go.
And then you move this way to
Yeah.
The Empire Strikes Back. And then how does it go? I don't understand.
Swings down.
It swings down. Okay, it is organized.
Here's where Jedi kind of starts and
And then here
Flies down.
comes the
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi, and then the Power of the Force.
yes.
So this basically represents a ton of action figures
Yeah.
between the years 1978-ish, well, 77, 78,
Yeah.
and 1985,
Yeah.
when
yeah.
they stopped producing
Right.
Star Wars toys
Right.
for 20 years.
Yep.
Until they started producing all kinds of new wonderful things and causing everyone to go insane again. So,
Yep.
so wait, so which one of these is... Actually, maybe we should ask them. Let's see if any eagle-eyed nerd
Well, I did.
can
I
figure
did.
out.
Oh,
It's too hard to
There
figure
was a
out.
video I did on my channel. What, last week or a couple days before Force Friday? I don't remember now.
Oh, you pointed
And-
out
well,
in one of the videos?
I didn't. But I did point out what's not on the wall. There are a few figures that are not on the wall.
Oh, okay, okay.
Well, they're down here. I've already put the video,
Ah.
but there is one figure that's up there that I don't know how I pulled it off. That it's a duplicate anyway, but
A duplicate.
I have
right
no
in
idea. I
here
am actually
somewhere.
missing one.
Right in here
Star
somewhere.
Wars figure.
Count Stankus is missing one and only one
Yes.
Star Wars figure,
I don't know
which is pretty funny. How long have you had this? So you've had this collection basically since the 70s.
No.
Well, but I mean, you've had
some
the
of it.
toys,
Actually, to be honest,
right.
some of this stuff is from when I was a kid.
Yeah,
a little
so
bit.
you've been building it since the 70s.
Okay.
And when did you
Yeah.
think you were complete? A couple of years
Oh
ago,
man,
you're like, oh, got it,
it's
I'm
been more than
got
a
it
few
all.
years until.
And then you noticed the other day.
A friend of mine noticed it, and I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!"
One of them. Miss, but look at this. So here you have the line of 12-inch figures
Yeah, those are awesome.
from the 70s. And now, what are
Yeah.
these? You
Those are
always
some
see
variants.
these in like these
Yeah.
acrylic cases.
Those
What
are
does that
some
mean?
variants. Oh, you know what? Those of you who probably know what this is. This is from the AFA.
What is that?
AFA, you spend money to go into the AFA. You send your figure, and they grade it for you. You have to pay them to grade it.
So it's like a jeweler telling you
Yeah.
how fine, what carat
Yeah,
your
but
diamond
AFA is not a jeweler. It's a joke. And who are they to grade your stuff? So this was actually a gift. I did not pay
Okay,
for this.
okay, I
Someone
see.
bought this for me because it's.
But that's a
such
way of
variant.
saying someone else
But-
assigning a value to it.
Yeah,
from the
they
outside.
graded it as an 85 out of
Oh,
100, I
look.
guess. Near mint. But this is a variation I wanted, and they bought it in an AFA box.
So these are
cool.
worth quite a lot of money, right? Everybody's aunt thinks like, oh, you have one Star Wars action figure. You must be rich. We're going to sell this at the garage sale for
I
$500. But mostly you can get these for what, like $5, $10 sometimes per guy on eBay or
The
something.
original Star Wars figures are cheap.
But there's some of them, though, that are
That are not.
super rare. What's the
Yeah.
rarest thing, maybe?
that
in
I
here?
have?
Yeah,
Or,
that's
you know what?
on display.
Or why don't we look at, say, what's the harder Star Wars figure from Kenner? That's rare.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
There you go.
Okay, I mean, that'd be a lot better. Why don't we go... I mean, some people are going to go, that's
What's
not
one?
right. I know
What's
it's
one of the more
well,
rare?
You
things?
have...
Yeah, don't. We don't want to get all too specific because then there will be someone out there who's like, "That's not the rarest. This is
Okay.
the rarest." But well, like one of
In
them.
the original world of Star Wars figures,
Yes.
you know, the Kenner did a lot of weird. There's millions of variations that are just because they made stuff in Taiwan and different places. So forget about that. Let's talk
Variations
about the stuff
such as Luke having different colored
that,
lightsabers,
Yeah, let's not worry
or
about that.
different color
Let's
hair.
go into stuff that's more legit and people know about it.
Yeah, ooh,
And
okay.
Up top here we have your plastic cape Jawa.
Ooh,
That was cool. And then next to it we have the blue snaggletooth. I
blue
love that.
snaggletooth.
Yeah.
Now, for those who aren't super nerdy like me or you, and they don't really know a lot about Star Wars action figures, tell us why blue snaggletooth is so rare. I think there's even a website called Blue
That came out in a
Snaggletooth.
Sears exclusive. That actually came with the Cantina outer. The
So
set.
that blue snaggletooth
Came
came
with
with this
this.
play set.
Yeah, it was a Sears or JCPenney now. God, I can't remember. I'm sorry. But they've made the figure for finding out what he actually looked like. They just got a picture of, I think, his torso and up to his head.
Okay.
So
and
Kenner
so they made
made a
this.
figure, and it was wrong. So they, so then they corrected it. And that's what he's supposed to be right there.
And so this is the one that was like mass released to the public.
that's what
And
he's
this
supposed
only came with this weird cardboard playset. Look at this. Back in the day, all you had to have, and see, when I was a little kid in the 80s, this was how playsets were for me too.
Yeah.
They were just mostly made of cardboard or sometimes some plastic, some
And they
cardboard.
had vinyl sometimes.
And they had those painted backgrounds and
Yeah.
stickers, and that was like
That's
half
it.
of the fun. Like, use your imagination, kid. Here's a piece of plastic. Now everything's like elaborate lights and sounds and ropes and swinging. Except one of the first things I think I remember, one of the first plays that some people will remember this that I ever had that was like super lush was a hand-me-down Castle Grayskull from the He-Man action figure series. You
Awesome.
remember those beefy,
Yeah.
thick plastic?
Yeah,
Anyways,
sure.
look where. Oh, look this. I had this. I had none of the features and accessories, but look at that. He-Man. Now I'm getting distracted. But look at this. Look at all this Star Wars stuff. Okay, so they stopped making Star Wars toys in 1985.
Yeah.
I was born in 1983.
Yep.
So all the Star Wars toys I ever got to experience growing up were all used, hand-me-down, broken pieces from babysitters and weird cousins and things like that. And I never really got to own any of this stuff. I was born too late to enjoy this stuff when it came out. But I have now started to slowly piece together like a junk
Nice.
collection where they're all loose figures like this, which means they're out of the package. And some of them have really like weak legs and the paint is chipped off. But I've started to
But you're
assemble.
saving them. You're
I'm working
them
on it.
alive.
But I've got the first 20 Star Wars figures released.
That's cool.
And then the 21st figure is Boba Fett, which you found for me
There he is.
right
He's got
here.
to finish his game though.
Oh, he's got to finish his game.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave him right there. But
Yeah.
look at this. You have everything. You got the Millennium Falcon here. Is there anything in your collection that you don't have that you're like,
That I need.
I
really
need
bad.
this thing?
I don't know.
Like if you came across it at a garage sale, you'd probably vomit with excitement.
At a garage.
Just some
As
people.
far as vintage stuff goes, oh man, I mean that's crazy.
Do you know what's funny is that there's some people watching this who they don't really care about toys at all.
That's okay.
And they watch me go to Disneyland all the time, and they don't ask any questions about that. They'll watch me ride the teacups 100,000 times and say, "Look at that, isn't that neat?" But they probably are looking at you right now and thinking, "What kind of grown man owns this many toys? He's insane. He's crazy." But then meanwhile they're planning their solo trip to Disney World by themselves right now to go ride the teacups. I like all kinds of nerdery, even the stuff that's like not right up my alley. I appreciate people who collect things and do all kinds of. I like when people have a thing. It gets me really excited about all the things that I want to be my thing, and like clearly you have been doing this for quite a while. Look at that!
Wow.
So there's the Star Destroyer playset. That's the Death Star playset, right?
Yep.
Well, that's awesome. That's the American Death Star playset.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't there an English one that was like even more cardboard?
Toy. It's got like 2 levels to it. It's like it's pretty. That one's cool.
If you do you
that I would want. That I want.
Oh, see, that would be cool. Do you even Star Wars, guys? If you Star Wars at all, I would suggest going over to Count Stankus's YouTube channel. He's done a lot of Star Wars videos there, and also videos on other stuff like this. This is one of your. Can we open this, or will we destroy the universe if we open it?
You all will die.
Just the reflections. Look at this. Yeah. So what are these? Are all Migos, right?
Yeah, Mego was a company that came out in the late '60s, doing like little. You remember like in the comic books back when we were kids, and they'd have like the little things you could buy, like little toys you could buy for like 5 cents or whatever.
X-ray vision.
Yeah. They started doing stuff like that, and then they branched off and started making real legit toys.
X-ray vision. Look into your teacher's clothes. I don't know what the advertisement said, but it was always weird stuff like that. Weird stuff that if you looked at it now, you'd be like, really? X-ray vision. Look at people's clothes.
Their clothes?
I don't know if that was. I don't know what I'm talking about. Look at this. So Mego kind of came after. G.I. Joe was really the first action figure. Right?
G.I. Joe was the original
and
action
figure. Was that Hasbro?
Yeah, that was Hasbro.
Hasbro came up with the G.I. Joe, which was the big 12-inch like doll style like this. And then Mego came along with they're 8 inches, right?
These are 8
the 8-inch action figure.
Thing.
So still big, but more manageable.
Yeah. They're the first company to have the Marvel and DC license.
Really? So they
time.
had Marvel and DC comic characters.
You'll never see that happen again. Never.
That's pretty awesome. Well, except for Lego. Lego's doing Marvel and DC.
Yeah, but not.
I was like, what the heck? That's kind of weird.
When it comes to action figures, you'll never have one company doing.
Yeah. Wow. Look at these. So what is? I don't even know what this is. Superman's arch enemy. What is it?
Mixoplay. He's a short little guy.
Mixel.
And the only way to get rid of him is to say his name backwards.
Can I pick this up?
Yeah.
I'm so scared.
That's
I'm
cool.
like, when something's in glass, it doesn't matter if it's your.
Right.
But what if I sneeze on them?
Oh, I don't know.
What if I not call them? What if I destroy them? Look at Pronounce this again.
Mixoplay.
One more time.
Mixoplay.
Mixoplay.
And say his name backwards and disappear.
Really?
Yeah, that's how you get rid of it.
I don't know what that is, but look at these Planet of the Apes. I know this is a particularly big thing for you. Yeah. Adam the Woo, youtube.com/Adam the Woo did a Planet of the Apes filming locations video with you.
Check it out.
Where you dragged him out to the original Ape City up in the middle of nowhere out in Malibu.
Yeah.
And that's where I first heard of you. He's like, oh, my buddy Stankus. I'm like, Stankus? Where did Stankus come from anyway?
There's a guy who used to be called, he's probably still around, Tom T-Bone Stankus.
Okay.
He was a
just a guy?
He was popular back in the late 70s, early 80s. Anybody remember Dr. Demento, the Dr. Demento show?
Oh,
BBC,
yeah, okay,
Dr. Demento. Back in the day. And he was one of the guys that had a song on there called Existential Blues. So you're named after him. I ripped it off from him. Yeah.
So you just had to.
I'm a rip off him.
You went on the internet one day, like we all do, and you're like, I need to put something in here, and then there you go. You're stuck with it now. Count Stinkus,
Stinkus.
Or as your neighbors call you, Count Stinky Toes. No one calls him. Don't call him that. He'll punch you with the power of the Cobra.
Yes.
Well, I like that you're wearing actually the G.I. Joe Cobra shirt, and I've got the Cobra. We're like we were twinning today by accident.
That's right.
Look at this. Okay, now you showed me this last time. This is one of the more rare things.
That's the cool
in your collection.
I've got that in one of my episodes. Check it out.
So what's the TLDR? The quick version of the story is that Kenner
got the license to do Alien without watching the movie. Big mistake.
Okay.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
So they made a toy And no one had ever seen a horror movie like Alien before. And literally, it's a fact. You can go online and check it out. People would go watch the movie, and all happened all over the United States, and people were running out of the theater screaming.
Right.
There's people
It's a very terrifying movie to this day.
People who crapped their pants and vomited in the theater because it freaked them out, and it's just a fact. So when all this crap was going on, guess what? Kenner pulled the line off the shelves.
So basically, Kenner's like, "Cool, look at this neat space movie like Star Wars. We have Star Wars." So all the moms are thinking it's just like Star Wars, a new line of toys, and maybe bought these for Christmas and probably returned a lot of them. We don't want your stinking poopy pants aliens around our house, because it was a horror movie. The first time I ever saw Alien, I was an adult. By the time I saw Alien, and I watched it, and I went, "This isn't even a sci-fi movie. This is a straight horror movie in space." Okay, but the best part is the box.
The best part's the box.
So show me the box.
And just real quick before we go along, what guy at Hasbro who made this before he showed it to anybody didn't take a quick look and go, "Look, it's 1979. This is for a kid. And like, should I be making this toy?" Anyway, this is the best part of the box.
Okay.
So
there's the box. Ooh, a creepy alien.
Yes.
Wow, look at that. This is my favorite thing ever. And then
that kid. I love it. I want to be that kid. I wonder where he is nowadays. Should interview him.
What is this kid thinking? So Kenner hadn't seen the movie, much less this kid.
Yeah.
So what are they telling this kid to do? Hold him. Hold the alien with the skeleton and the mechanically operated jaws and the weird, gross, metallic mouth. Just look really excited. Maybe this is his genuine first reaction. I like to think of it as his genuine reaction. Oh my goodness. Thanks, Mom. Gee, thanks, Grandma.
Exactly.
You did it, Timmy. You graduated from college. Here you go. Look at that. That's crazy. That is my favorite thing ever.
It is.
So there's a lot more information about that and like history, nerdy history. If you want some really in-depth, I want to learn something about action figures and toys, definitely go to youtube.com/CountStinkus. Look at this. You'll learn about X-Wings.
I got some stuff on there.
Oh, here's a white TIE fighter, and then there's a blue TIE fighter. What's the difference?
This one came out when the movie Star Wars was released.
Ooh.
I said Star Wars.
Star Wars.
I didn't say A New Hope.
Star Wars.
And the blue one's from Empire.
And so by the time they did Empire Strikes Back, they changed the color of the thing. So here's another Star Wars one.
That's the same one from Star Wars.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which one was yours?
This one was mine.
So this was yours as a kid.
This was mine, and the next one here, the X-Wing, was my brother's.
So 30 years ago, you were running around the house in your underoos, playing with this exact toy, and it's still here enshrined.
It's shrined forever.
Toy Room of Insanity, and now it appears in videos that go all around the world.
It does.
To everyone who wants to know about nerdy things and toys. Okay, and what are these? I've never seen these in my entire life.
I love the Peanuts. I love those old cartoons when we were kids. You know, those of you who watched all that stuff.
Enunciate very carefully. He loves the Peanuts.
Peanuts.
The Peanuts gang. And here they are. I went to the Charles Schultz
Brown.
Museum, up in Santa Rosa. I did a random land about it, and the entire time I was there, the whole time I was filming, I was like, "All right, Justin, enunciate." I'm not the greatest enunciator in the world, but I was like, I need to enunciate very carefully if I'm going to say the word peanuts a whole bunch of times in public. So look at this. Okay, so real quickly, because we're running out of time.
We are.
We have He-Man up here. What else do we have? What else?
We got Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans.
Awesome movie. We got the original Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That is awesome. You did an episode about that, right?
Yeah.
I watched that whole entire episode, and I loved it. The original vintage Kenner Raiders of the Lost Ark stuff, which I've always wanted to own, but it's way outside of my league. Oh, I like that. There's a custom one right there. Ooh, very cool.
A good one. I love it.
Very cool stuff. So there are all kinds of cool treasures, and they, like Frodo, live on Count Stankus's YouTube channel, youtube.com/CountStankus. There you are. You're up there. I'm just hit Count Stankus's crotch. His nether regions, as Adam would say. And then down here, more Star Wars. I'm overstimulated now. Monsters. Look at these monsters.
Remco monsters.
Monsters. I just unboxed on Periscope some reaction figures of Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein.
Those are great.
And by unboxing, I mean I popped the blister open and just looked at them, and then we were talking about stuff. What is this? Who's this signed by here?
I don't remember his name. Shame on me, but it's signed by the guy who was in the suit for the Creature of the Black Lagoon.
What?
He was just a stuntman.
That's awesome.
So he passed away, unfortunately, but he was at a comic book show back in the 90s, and he signed it for me.
You did a whole episode about these too, right?
Yes.
These Remco things. So look at every kind of hobby and every kind of interesting avenue of nerdiness and excitingness has its own history. They have its own information. They have its own rare things and exciting victories and triumphs, like getting this Rancor. I don't know. The Rancor's probably not all that rare, actually. What is something else that's what was something that here? How about this? Personally, for you, amassing this. What was something that when you got it, you were like, finally, like a triumph
from Star Wars?
Yeah, from Star Wars. Like, finally, I did it.
You know, I the only thing that sticks out is the day I got Boba Fett.
Boba Fett? Which Boba Fett?
It's Boba Fett. The mail away Boba Fett.
So that is from your childhood, right?
Yes.
This one up here. So behind it, you have all the different variations, and there's one in its original package right there, because it was a mail away figure, right? You got a bunch of these, and then you could mail away for the new exciting character from Empire Strikes Back.
That's right.
So that came to young Stankus in the mail in 1980, 1979.
No, the mail maybe around that. Might be 79.
So you got that, and
now.
you were like,
"Oh my god,
yes!" And you knew nothing about this character.
Yeah.
But probably made him do all kinds of amazing, awesome things.
Oh yes.
That's what I was talking about the new Star Wars action figures. Jay was with me, and we were talking about how people are buying these for their kids. These new, like, Kylo Ren, Captain Phasma, all these new Force Awakens guys. And their kids are constructing whole stories about these characters before they even ever see the movie. You have no idea. I used to do that all the time with my action figures as a kid. Then the movie would come out, and I'd go, oh, I have to totally rethink the way I did everything. I'd sometimes be disgruntled. Like, that movie disappointed me. I have played a better version of this movie. Like Ninja Turtles, when the sequel came out, I liked it. When Part 3 came out, I was like, oh, I've played better storylines than this with my action figures like a million times. Why is it so hard to write a movie? Of course, now I can't do that, but it's fine.
Questions asked all the time.
Anyways, the Toy Room of Insanity, youtube.com/Count Stankus. STANKUS.
That's right.
Go over there. I'm really excited about this. I want to be even nerdier and talk about each little thing and look at each little thing. And now, because I'm always shaky and crazy, I'm just very slowly. I really want one of these. When you're not looking, I'm going to steal it. I'm going to steal the whole. Okay, well then, fair enough. I won't be stealing anything today. Look at these guys. I really like how funky all the original ones are.
Yeah. Because
they really didn't know what the characters from the movies looked like, and because they really didn't know what Star Wars was all about, they just have these really funky, odd designs. I really love vintage Chewbacca, because just look at the way he looks. The 12-inch figures, though, the Mexican version, what was the toy company's Lily Letty, I think?
Yeah, right.
The Mexican company, look at R2-D2. He looks pretty normal there. But the Kenner R2-D2 is really funky looking. Like, one of my favorite things. I carry one of these around with me usually in my car when I travel, because I'll take like little Instagram pictures with them, just because he's so funky and weird. Yeah. And I just happen to have one in my car, and I just left him in there. Look at, oh, here's a better, closer up version of the Kenner one. Isn't there a Mexican 12-inch version of R2-D2? 12-inch being the scale of the figure.
Yeah, right.
Who looks like this, right?
I believe so, yes.
I really want that.
They're hard. Those are hard, man.
But I've never even seen one on eBay. I have no idea what that would cost. But I've seen pictures of it, and I just want that. And then Gentle Giant makes a full-on trash can life-size version.
Yeah, and it's a scan
of this.
Yeah, right.
And it's so cool. That's in the Star Wars Celebration video. Anyway, I could sit in here and talk about it all day. But we're actually going to go to some toy stores and look at old toys. And I'll probably be putting them on Instagram. Live Fast Die Poor on Instagram. Snapchat, Live Fast Die Poor. And make sure to go follow Count Stankus if you like toys. And if you like other things, he probably has videos about fighting dinosaurs. Maybe. I'm not sure. I haven't watched all of them yet. But I'm excited to find out. Okay, subscribe for some more. See you guys later. Goodbye from the Toy Room of Insanity. Sanity. Okay, goodbye.